at 7:02. Please rise for the pledge. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you take roll, Mary?
Joe? Swag here. Patrick?
Yep. We're going to open a public hearing for the township budget, and I'd like to make a motion to open the hearing.
I'll second. What time is it?
7:03.
Okay, if nobody has a comment, I have a statement I would like to
Are
read.
we all in favor?
Oh, yeah,
Aye.
opening
Okay.
it, yep, I am.
Now, this is for public comment, please. Mr. Berger?
Hi, my name is Jason Berger, 21200 Armada Ridge Road. I'll get through this as quick as I can. I'm sure it'll be less than 5 minutes, but it might sound a little bit off subject at first, but it's relevant to the budget specifically. Spawned my concerns was hearing you say something at one of the last meetings about disregarding what somebody was saying about the Right to Farm Act and saying that it was a zoning issue, not a right to farm issue. So I've prepared some comments. I'll breeze through them really quick. Recently, the township attorney, Christine Anderson, told my attorney that the township supports what is a clear violation of the Right to Farm Act. I have confirmed this violation with my criminal attorney, civil attorney, as well as Farm Bureau attorneys and Farm to Consumer legal team. As you may or may not know, there is and I'm speaking to the board obviously, as you may or may not know, there is a preemption written into the Right to Farm Act that preempts local ordinance. More importantly, there's a clause that makes the complainant liable for all of the legal fees accumulated. Currently, my estimated total losses exceed $70,000. So my question to the board members voting today is, it's rhetorical. Have you been involved in the decision making for quote unquote the township, as Christine Anderson referred to? If you haven't, shouldn't you be asking some questions? Now that I have made you aware of this situation, you are not in a position to claim qualified immunity because you have been notified that a violation has occurred and you are aware that someone is still pressing forward. Is it the board? Is it Patrick? Is it his assistant? I'm not sure. But the township attorney mentions the township as the one making these decisions and therefore the liable party for reimbursement and future litigation. I heard Patrick disregard the question about the Right to Farm Act at the previous meeting. A large portion of the community is located in an agricultural preservation zone. This isn't the only farm that I hear having some issues right now with the township. Do we really want to fund a second supervisor, so to speak, by giving him a budget for an assistant who is, as I understand it, not a resident and appears not to have the community's best interest in mind? I don't know that. I don't know the person. I'm not trying to make any claims that they're being malicious in any way or anything like that. I would caution the board in rubber stamping a budget item that will likely have additional burdensome expenses to our community, specifically the assistant for Patrick, which, as I understand it, is also his assistant in his business, correct? I've been pretty supportive of you over the years, but this is getting out of hand. I'm bringing the community into this. Thanks.
Marcia?
Thank you for that information. I really appreciate it. My name is Marcia Hollins. I live at 20120 Armada Ridge Road. In my hand, I have the Armada Township Administrative Policies and Procedures Manual. In this, it lists the duties of the supervisor as well as the duties of a deputy supervisor. I'd like to read the supervisor's duties to you so you all can determine.
Marcia, if you could please address the board, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you know better.
Okay. Supervisor's duties: facilitate and chair all meetings of the township board. Chief assessing officer may assess if certified. Non-voting secretary to the board of review. Agent for the township. keeps records of the office, may appoint a deputy. May is the word here I want us all to keep in mind. Calls special meetings, develops budgets, may in conjunction with the clerk and/or treasurer, appoints planning commission members, zoning board of appeals members, economic development commissions, other commissions, officers, compensation, commission and building authority, also with township board approval. Manager of transfer site keeps complaint book, again, keeps complaint books. That is our code enforcement, I believe, which is also a listed duty of our supervisor. And maintain relations between the fire department and Village of Armada. They're also the human resource person responsible for the personnel of the township. Now, let's see what the duties of the deputy supervisor are that may or may not be needed in this situation. It's my conclusion that if the supervisor were present in the building more hours, that we would not need a deputy supervisor. Please let me know when my 5 minutes is up, Miss Mary. I don't know if you guys are timing it. Per Chapter 41, Section 61 of the Township's Revised Statutes of 1846, the township supervisor may appoint a deputy township supervisor who shall serve at the pleasure of the supervisor. The deputy shall take an oath of office and file the oath with the township clerk. In case of the absence, sickness, or death, or other disability of the supervisor, the deputy shall possess the powers and perform the duties of the supervisor. I won't go any further, but to me, this is stating that we only need a deputy supervisor if and when Mr. Paderak is unavailable to perform his duties. And I'd just like to get that in the record that personally, I do not believe the Township of Armada needs a deputy supervisor. And it's nothing against the person. She's wonderful. She's great. She does a great job. But if the supervisor were here when he should be here doing his job, we wouldn't need a deputy supervisor. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments?
And I would like to read my statement. I want it noted in the record. Okay, I am opposed to the $314,000 to be spent on the entrance and parking lot at the Senior Center Park. I see that $276,000 has been taken from the fund balance. Where's the remaining $38,000 coming from? I am dismayed that the supervisor and clerk feel worthy of taking an increase in pay. I am opposed to both increases. The supervisor, who is rarely in the township hall, wants the taxpayers to pay for a deputy. If after 15 years in office he still cannot do the job, he needs to step down. He stated at a recent meeting that you have to not want to get a hold of him, because if you leave a message, he'll call you back, or you can stop at a shop. I remember a man named Darcy who used to come to meetings before he moved. He visited Paderak Mold many times regarding the grow house in his neighborhood. Had Darcy not started coming to township meetings, nobody would have known what was going on. Sue Howard, who lives 1 block away from Paderak Mold, stopped into his shop to ask if he had put the Purple Heart community on the agenda so the board could decide if they wanted to be a Purple Heart community. Several months later, I saw Sue at the mobile gas station, and she asked me if the supervisor had ever brought it to the board. I said no, and I'd been at every meeting. She asked me if I'd bring it to the board. I picked up the resolution we needed to adopt and the signs for the township and had the clerk add it to the agenda. It passed. He and his deputy sued the clerk over an issue that could have been addressed very quickly and easily. Instead, the taxpayer-funded township insurance paid out. His response to me: don't break the law. Violating the Open Meetings Act is something the supervisor has done in the past. I contacted the prosecuting attorney several years ago because he was having staff meetings with the clerk and former treasurer, which constituted a quorum of the board, which is a violation of the Open Meetings Act. It was handled and the meetings stopped. Same thing could happen with what happened with the clerk. The board was presented with an extremely unbalanced budget. We worked 2 full months trying to come to a budget we could work with. The last workshop started, and the numbers they were saying were not what I had picked up 4 days earlier. Trustee Gutzinger said I had new sheets in my mailbox, which I got up and retrieved at that meeting. The supervisor stated that Chris Martin had done a spreadsheet that morning or the day before. Wow. Chris is holding down the fort in this place. The clerk wants a 4.5% increase for her and her deputy. I am opposed to Mary's. Mary is already earning $5,331 more than the clerk, more in her clerk's wages than the supervisor. $34,647.85 versus $29,316.09. All 3 top officials receive an additional $4,200 annual insurance stipend. Plus, Mary has been receiving an additional $3,600 per year for doing the fire department payroll since 2013. Her actual tax-funded income is $42,447.85. This year, there are many elections. It's part of her job. If she cannot handle the job, then she needs to step down. The fact that Mary lost her court case to the supervisor and his deputy is because she lied. How is any board member supposed to be secure in what we're being told by the clerk that it is factual? I oppose a 4.5% increase for the deputy clerk, but I do support a 3.2% increase for the deputy clerk. And the last thing, I want the miscellaneous line item dropped from $1,000 to $100. There should not be a time when those in charge of our money don't know what it is being spent on. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I got the email from Carol Marquardt.
Please.
This is from resident Carol Marquardt. Dear Board, it has come to our attention that you are having a meeting this coming Thursday to pass the pay increase when 2 of the board members are out of town. This sounds very sneaky and underhanded. We are not Rochester, Birmingham, Beverly Hills, or Washington Township. We are not a large municipality. We are being squeezed to death financially from all angles. Armada is a small rural town. Come on, when is it enough? Is enough. We can't wait for you. Why can't you wait for a full board? Why are you doing this? Why can't you wait till the next meeting and do this properly?
Are there any other public comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion
So-
to close public hearing?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What time is it, John?
What's that?
What time do you have?
7:15.
Thank you.
I'd like to call our regular meeting to order at 7:15. Is the agenda? Anything added?
I'll make a motion to approve agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll work from this agenda. Under new business, public comments again. Under new business, adoption of fiscal year 24-25 general fund budget.
I'll make a motion to adopt the fiscal year 24-25 general fund budget as presented.
Is there support? I'll second that.
Any discussion? No. Job?
No.
Swacky, yes. Perrick?
Yes. The adoption of the fiscal year 24-25 Township Board Wage Resolution. Mary, will you read that?
I will make a motion to adopt the board wage resolution 2024-01 as presented.
That would be for the public. Supervisor, $30,254.20 plus $350 a month medical stipend. Clerk, $36,207 plus $350 a month medical stipend. Treasurer, $32,191.52 plus $350 a month medical stipend. And trustees, $4,261.85.
Need a second.
I'll second that.
Job?
No.
Swacky, yes. Perrick?
Yes. the deputy clerk wage of 4.5%.
Yep, I'd like to make a motion to approve a 4.5 wage increase for deputy clerk from 1918 to 2004 per hour effective April 1st, 2024.
Support.
Joe?
No.
Swacky, yes. Patrick?
Yes. Senior director, 3.2% wage increase.
I'd like to make that motion to approve a 3.2% wage increase for the senior director from 1620 to 1672 per hour effective April 1st, 2024.
I will
Support.
second that.
You second that, Monica?
Mm-hmm.
Joe?
Yes.
Swacky, yes. Patrick?
Yes. Board of review, I'd like to raise the stipend to $75 per person per session.
I'll make the motion to do that.
Is there support?
Yep, I'll second. Joe?
Yes.
Swacky, yes. Patrick?
Yes. Zoning Board of Appeals, I'd like to make a motion to raise their wage to $75 per diem, per meeting.
I'll support that. Joe?
Yes.
Swacky, yes. Patrick?
Yes. The Planning Commission to receive a 3.2% stipend increase.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Joe?
Yes.
Swacky, yes. Patrick?
Yes. The Fire Department administrative wage increase, which was 4.5% on the 3,600, which ended up being,
3762.
I'm sorry?
3762.
62?
Yep, I'll make that motion to increase, as presented by the fire chief in the fire fund budget from 3,600 to 3,762 for the fire department and administration fee for the clerk effective April 1st, 2024.
Is there support? I'll second the motion.
Joe?
No.
Swacky, yes. Patrick?
Yes. Code official, I'd like to hire Robin Spalding as the code official for the township. And her wage was currently $17.47 with a 3.2% increase, would be $18.03. Is there support? Hearing none, fails for lack of support. Public comments, board members, trustee Joe,
Nothing, thank you.
clerk Swiacki.
I just want to wish everybody happy Easter, safe and happy Easter.
I would do the same. Happy Easter. I'll make a motion to close the board meeting at 7:20.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.